Hello, many blessings. It's been a minute again, but here we are with the Dakini Tantric Corp. Let's see what we got to hear today. If you're here, I call upon the highest levels of the highest light to give a message today. Oh, okay, so here we go. We got 6 cards. So, first one, Ganeshi, obstacle breaker. Second one, blow your mind. Third one, high tension. Fourth one, 22, mother's milk. Fifth one, the chameleon. Sixth one, oh, sorry, yeah, 5, 6 one, like a bubble. And now the last one, the last laugh in the future. So let's see. What is this? Ganeshi obstacle breaker number 5. This card suggests that there are obstacles to be overcome. The only way to get through the obstacles of the spider web of the world and the illusionary aspect to become the lord of these obstacles. This can only be done by confronting these things to the point where one sees through them. So to eliminate the cause behind the effect. If this is achieved either through penetration or through surrendering, then one becomes lord of these 3 worlds rather than caught in them. So achieving this respect, which this position merits, what must be borne in mind is the necessity to begin at the base, to recognize the evolutionary order, to gain the ascendancy, and to remember through personalized ritual. Ganesh is an occult ally, a helper at the base. Centered to this card represents strength and position location. At the spleen, the center could indicate a hazard health. In the navel, a center is suggested transformatory success, either monetary, since Ganesh is the lord of money, or psychological. In the heart center, it is either emotional obstacle or in the world, or the mystic opening through the devotion of the outer world. Meditate on the web of illusion, placing oneself in the center of the omnipresent Lord. So everything comes down to the heart. The heart is the gateway. The heart leaves the balance of yin and yang. It comes back into unity. So the next one, blow your mind. The time has come to change your point of view. Open up a new channels in the mind. Do not allow yourself to become entrenched in the old habitual patterns of thought. Leave the past behind. This card suggests that the doorway through the collective unconscious is perhaps to be centered through the storming of the barricades, by acting spontaneously and without reference to the predictable patterns of behavior. Do not be restricted by your own petty limitations. When this card is located at the base center, it suggests a feeling of detachment from the world and the entry into the dimension of spontaneity. At the spleen center, it indicates is of the possible traumatic experience influencing the position of self. The navel center location gives the power of the transformatory action and the potential for release. At the heart region, it tells of a strong desire of the questioner to be removed from the emotional entanglement or carefree attitude. Depending on the nature of the other 4 influences, when located in the head, it predicts a sudden release, a spiritual release, a transcendent experience attained by an acceptance of the need to change one's restrictive attitude towards life. So coming back to the center, coming back to the inner being, there is no balance. There's no yin, there's no yang, there's no nothing. It is just the center of the I Ching. The high tension. The questioner finds the need to take a firm position as a warrior. This is an extremely uncomfortable situation to find oneself obligated to maintain because of the constant overpower of the vast amount of energy. Being a warrior is like in survival, on guard, watching and doing everything. Thus, it is also a high tension requiring the ability to relax and recuperate in the first possible opportunity. When this card is located at the base, centers it indicates problems related to survival in this world. When the tendency for self to become too programmed. There is also the indication of this life force being awakened and the channel through the sexual area, but needing the bodily relaxation in order to bring about the psychological transmutation. At the spleen center, there is a sign of some digestion malfunction due to tension, such as from the outer world. Whether at the navel, this card has a positive indication of the raw energy, positioning, ready for refinement. In the heart, the center, it tells of feeling at the variance with a real position of self. In the throat, there is a potency of sudden outburst of creative will, but also with a danger to health. And in the head, there is a need to change the lifestyle to one that will not precede high tension mind. So releasing the mindfulness, coming back to the heart. Follow the yin and yang, go with the flow, come into. Do not overwind your clock too much, just stay within. Check it out, come back. And that's which leads us to the mother's milk. 22. Spiritual homesickness. The desire to get back to the primordial source, just as a baby longs to suckle the breast of the mother. It represents the aspiration for non-duality and can indicate that the questioner should recognize the need for nourishment. According to this placement of the card on the Tree of Life chart, the emphasis meaning is made clear. At the base center, it means to regard to the world. At the spleen center, it relates to nourishment as health. In the heart center, it is concerned with the emotions, such as the regard to the love and the inner child. At the throat center, it is an indication towards the need to fulfillment in the realm of fantasy and imagination. At the head center, the card tells of spiritual nourishment at the outcome from higher self. As the higher self. Call in your higher self. Be one with your higher self. Honoring the female principle of fecundity and generation. Meditate on the bondiness nature of the infinite. Remember that each one of us has a nourishment by great nature. This leads us to the next one. The chameleon is like the shapeshifter. You become one with that situation or circumstance as it's happening. You do not be entangled into the past. You become right in the present of this moment and just move with the flow of nature. So as the chameleon, this card tells of a person who is able to see all around situations, but unwilling to take the risk. The position of adaptability changing always to suit the environment. It suggests that the questioner can be easily influenced, and yet is this a protection of the presence of the world? When located on the base of the Tree of Life chart, the card indicates that the questioner has not taken a firm position in the past, and that it would be good to reconsider such a stance. In the spleen, it suggests that it would be wise to make an actual change with regard to diet, nourishment, and so forth, either materially or socially. At the navel location, it tells of an adaptable psychological position, which in the heart it can mean a fickle nature and a need to merge with the flow of influences of the heart in order to understand how to adapt to an emotional situation. When in the throat region, the card indicates a natural ability for fantasy, while the head that indicates of its real need to make a positive, fulfilling change, a positive decision. which leads us into like a bubble. Number 45 is 9, ending. So as we come into this position, let go of all preconceptions. Open up the mind to the original or spontaneous nature and the spontaneous nature. Treasure all fleeting moments of joyful ecstasy, so strengthening of the potency of such an experience, yet without holding on to any form. Be formlessness. Do not cling to the world or its multicolored or manifestations, both within and without. When this card is located in the base center of the Tree of Light, it represents the thoughts, enlightenment. Enlightenment means releasing you from all space and all moments of time, being in this moment. Enlightening means releasing all of the incarnated vessel's emotions from previous lifetimes. A memory form of the unconscious mind. In the heart, it tells of a romantic nature coupled with a tendency not to believe in the endurance of emotions in the world, suggesting the need for faith. At the throat, it tells of an insight, inspiration, and sudden moment of recall. At the head, it tells of a spirit longing for the path of teaching. Meditate on the transient nature of all phenomena, which leads you to the last one. The last laugh, the future, which is a 10 and 1, new beginning. So everything has a step. Each one has brought us to the next step, to the next level. So as you're going through each one of these things, it's coming into breaking the obstacles, having like a nuclear bomb within and just releasing everything, just letting it go, being present, removing the head, the tension, come back into the being that you are, just being, and the mother's milk, the nourishment, coming back to the source of origins of who you are, or coming back to the source of origins from once before you were in this vessel, the source within the universe. That is the truth of always releasing all these trauma bonds. Then becoming the chameleon. As you come back with the multicolors of nature, spring, the elements, everything, you come back into the moment. And the bliss, like a bubble. You're part of everything that exists. You're floating. You're earth, air, fire, water, spirit. You're within. And then, like I said, the last laugh, the future. Take position of ascendancy in this present situation, and all obstacles will be overcome. See the humor in all the situations rather than taking life too seriously. Even morbidity is only a state of mind. Learn to laugh at yourself and the situations you find yourself in, and in doing so, cut through the limitations normally attributed to karma. Free yourself from attachments. When located in the base of the center of the Tree of Life chart, it represents the need to detach from the worldly ambition and to understand the past, the future as one, thereby taking control over one's destiny. At the navel, this card tells of the ruthless self-work, but the humor so bringing about the psychological breakthrough, and the heart, it tells of a desire for emotional liberation through humor, and its head tells of the advantage gained. So through all of this ends with Shiva, the pillar of fire, which is 32, which is a 5. Major life transformation. So this card represents the moment of illumination and revelation of the understanding of the miraculous nature of all things in this essence. It is a vision of the end of the world and consuming pillar of fire, a cosmic phallus without beginning or end, the impregnator of the world to come. It indicates of a positive turning in the life of the questioner, a highly charged moment, defined by the place of this card of the tree in the chart, Tree of Life chart. At the base center, it shows of a potent sexual charge, awakening and sending the Kundalini energy upwards. So illuminating the subtle body. At the spleen center, it indicates of a healthy digestion assisting the questioner. In the navel center, it shows of the potent psychological breakthrough. And in the heart region, the great personal force, by attracting and transforming. So each one of these cards leads you to the next. So you're working, releasing everything from this moment, in this space, in this time. Obstacle breaker. I cancel, clear, release through all space and all moments of time, all programs coming in through all space and all moments of time. I cancel, clear, release these programs now and forever. I come back to the unity, to the source within. As I call upon my higher self, I come into my heart space. I call upon the Mother and the Father Creator. I call upon them within my heart, and I call upon my higher self to join us together in this unity. And I open up my temple of healing as I surrender and I release. I surrender to the universe as I know this is my opening. This is my beginning. I am in great support and love of the universe. I offer this gift to the Mother Gaia so that we may ascend and call upon the 4 directions, the 5 elements, and the 6 senses, and call upon our strands of DNA that goes to the 24. And through 12 constellations of 12 planets and 9 realms, I call upon all the guardians of these planets, constellations, and realms to activate our DNA so that we may awaken and ascend into the highest vibrations that come into unity of the source, of the one, of who you are. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Namaste.